From a player who hit fans to one of the biggest football club captains who publicly became a racist, these are the 20 most evil moments in football history. Number 1. One of them was when Eric Cantona decided to summon his inner Jackie Chan and let all loose against a fan. The game between Manchester United and Crystal Palace in 1995 wasn't going as planned, but that was when the Frenchman decided he was going to let a foul on him slide, resulting in a red card when he hit the home team's defender. Then, as he was leaving the field, Cantona heard a shout from one of the Palace fans directed at him. With anger, he jumped into the stands with a kung fu-style strike to the face of the disgruntled fan and landed a punch before being pulled away. The public was outraged, and Manchester United's shares dropped in price on the stock exchange the next day. Number 2. For this footballer, he was not only dropped from all games for 4 months, but his legendary status took a dent, all because he couldn't keep his mouth shut. This was not his first time, but Uruguayan forward Luis Suarez decided to repeat the same feat during a game in the 2014 World Cup in Brazil against Italy. The striker decided to set his target at the Italian defender's shoulder, Giorgio Chiellini, lunging at him, all teeth blazing. This event created numerous memes on the internet, and Suarez himself was suspended for 4 months. The crazy thing about this was that Luis Suarez wasn't given a red card during the match.
Luis Suarez is suspended for 9 matches and banned for 4 months from any football-related activity.
Number 3. The same occurred when a player was arm dragged to the grass and left in tears. The UEFA Champions League final in 2018 between two titans, Real Madrid and Liverpool, was overshadowed by the dangerous act of Sergio Ramos toward Mohamed Salah. In the very first half, with the score at 0-0, Salah, skillfully outplaying Ramos, burst into Real Madrid's half. Ramos, trying to stop the Egyptian, bounced the ball away, trapping his arm as they both went to the ground. Salah, writhing in pain, was unable to continue playing. This has forever left a sour taste in the mouths of Liverpool fans. Number 4. The same sour taste the France team experienced when this legend couldn't control his temper, just as he did with the ball. This most shameful moment occurred in the 110th minute of the 2006 World Cup final between France's midfielder Zinedine Zidane and Italy's defender Marco Materazzi. With the score at 1-1, a verbal battle erupted. Materazzi reportedly insulted Zidane's sister, and Zidane flared up and headbutted Materazzi in the chest. The Italian fell, and Zidane received a red card. The world was divided into 2 parts. Some defended Zidane, while others condemned him. This iconic moment became so popular that it was made into a statue. Number 5. But when it comes to this player, his malicious moments are so many that if they were to build statues of them, the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium wouldn't be enough to keep them. I'm talking about Real Madrid defender Pepe. The Portuguese defender was one of the key players for Real Madrid. However, in the minds of many fans, he remained one of the most brutal players in the world. He collected red cards left and right, becoming notorious for deliberately playing rough against Messi, and could even swear at the referee. In 2009, he literally beat up Getafe forward Javier Casquero on the field, who had moved into a goal-scoring position. Give a thumbs up if you are not in support of violence in football, and subscribe to see more of these unbelievable moments in football. Number 6. Speaking of unbelievable moments, this video simply couldn't be complete without Gennaro Gattuso. The fiery Italian midfielder, who was always excessively emotional, argued and even fought with coaches. Once, during a match between Milan and Ajax, he deliberately hit the arm into Ibrahimovic's face. He was immediately sent off. Can you imagine striking Zlatan himself? That's some character. Number 7. But such character traits are not unique to just Gattuso. Take, for example, the notorious Vinnie Jones, a midfielder for Wimbledon, who once cynically remarked that God gave footballers legs so that he, Jones, could kick them. During a match against Newcastle, he managed to grab Paul Gascoigne by the ball, whom he was marking. Off the field, Jones openly indulged in alcohol. He was known as a football hooligan. However, after ending his football career, he was unexpectedly noticed by then aspiring director Guy Ritchie, who invited him to act in movies. Number 8. This could sound like a movie, but in his bid for revenge against a player who mocked him 4 years prior, he injured the player and allegedly ended his career. The Man United captain Roy Keane had his fair share of injuries thanks to his aggressive style of play. The most memorable one happened when Keane went after Haaland's father, wanting to bring him down, but his studs got stuck in the turf, snapping his knee in the process. As he lay down, Alfred Haaland stood over him and shouted, "Stop pretending!" But the Irish midfielder wasn't pretending. He had torn his cruciate ligament. When he returned from injury and played against Alfred, Roy Keane went in with a 2-footed tackle, injuring him and shouting, "Take that, you cunt!" He was immediately sent off, getting a 5-game ban plus a £150,000 fine. Alfred was left with a knee injury. Number 9. One would think that football kung fu kicks stopped with Eric Cantona until Nigel de Jong used one to junk off some ribs of Xabi Alonso. During the game between Spain and the Netherlands, Xabi Alonso was getting ready to nod the ball, and as he did, de Jong flew in with his foot into Xabi Alonso's chest, breaking his ribs in the process. Number 10. Another player who did Xabi Alonso dirty was Joey Barton. You could call him the most angry footballer in English football. He said the reason he hacked down Xabi was because he was jealous that Liverpool chose to sign the Spaniard instead of him. Several other mischiefs Barton orchestrated, from causing a mass brawl because of his tackle in a friendly match against Doncaster to stubbing a lit cigarette in the eye of a young teammate who tried to set fire to his shirt. The list goes on. Number 11. But Joey Barton had his replica in Spain. Goycochea, one of the dirtiest players in Spanish football, earned his nicknames the Butcher of Bilbao and the Monster by often injuring opponents, spitting on them, and hitting them from behind when out of the referee's sight. One of his most brutal tackles was on September 24, 1983. In a match against Barcelona, Antony broke Maradona's ankle with a rough tackle from behind, causing the Argentine to miss half of his second Spanish season. Interestingly, Goycochea keeps the boot with which he injured Maradona in his living room under glass as an exhibit. For him, it's an achievement. Number 12. What you wouldn't call an achievement is when arguably the best player ever, Lionel Messi, turned into a really rough player. Aside from splitting his opponent's legs with his unbeatable skills, Messi is well known for spitting on his opponents too. But what caused him a rightful 2-match suspension was in 2021 in a match between Barcelona and Athletic Bilbao, when Messi uncharacteristically pushed a Bilbao player, resulting in a red card. Number 13. One who wouldn't get a red card for his uncharacteristic way of talking to his players is Sir Alex Ferguson. He was known for getting right up in the faces of his players and screaming until their hair lay flat against their heads. In his response, Ferguson didn't see anything unusual in this habit. He said, "I love letting off steam, getting it out. I've been advised to leave the lads alone for a day, but I can't wait. After the game, I tell them what I feel because we've been preparing all week, and in every match, I expect to win." Perhaps it's because of this that the Man U players were so aggressive. Number 14. Although not a Red Devils player, his aggressiveness towards coaches was well known. In one of his dramatic moments, Diego Costa clearly crossed the line when Jose Mourinho decided not to field the Spanish-Brazilian striker Diego Costa to bolster the attack. Costa, in turn, walked to his spot, took off his bib, and threw it over his shoulder towards Mourinho. Number 15. In this case, it was Jose Mourinho who showed disrespect. After securing a win against Juventus, Manchester United's manager Jose Mourinho was so inspired by the match's result that, after the final whistle, he decided to jest with Juventus fans. Stepping onto the field, the Portuguese coach made a symbolic gesture by putting his hand to his ear. This gesture nearly incited a scuffle. Fortunately, Mourinho managed to leave the field before any confrontation occurred. Number 16. Although Mourinho left the field unscathed, the one who didn't was Mario Balotelli. This incident occurred during the final of the 2010 Italian Cup when Francesco Totti delivered a painful blow to Mario Balotelli's legs, resulting in a straight red card. Number 17. For Neymar, he wasn't agitated about his red card but smiled at the referee, who didn't see that the Marseille players were over-exaggerating the push on both occasions. This happened in the match between PSG and Marseille, where Neymar was provoked until he landed himself a red card. Number 18. This time, no red card was issued, and it turned into a full brawl. Maradona was known for his emotions and sometimes unconventional actions on the football field. After the match, the agitated Maradona, who wasn't happy with the result, turned to martial arts. First, he kneeled unused substitute Miguel Angel, resulting in a brawl on the pitch between both teams. Number 19. Salty Cristiano Ronaldo also had his fair share of unsatisfied results, which he took out on a young autistic fan's phone. In 2022, after Manchester United lost to Everton, Ronaldo knocked the phone out of the hands of a 14-year-old autistic fan who wanted to take a photo with him. Ronaldo apologized for his actions, but this event sparked widespread criticism. Number 20. Much more criticism John Terry faced after allegedly racially insulting Anton Ferdinand. In 2011, while playing for Chelsea, Terry was caught on camera hurling racist remarks at QPR player Anton Ferdinand. Terry was suspended for 4 matches and fined £220,000. Completely deserved. Sometimes the passion to win by any means stirs anger among players, coaches, and even fans. Only fair caution and control are taken so we can all enjoy the sport we love. And if you want to see how the biggest club competition came about, you should check out this video.